Gunmen abduct two siblings in Abuja. Student of Bethel High School regains freedom 2 years after abduction. Labour to embark on strike Wednesday over attack on Ajero. On the foreign scene, Israeli air raid kills Palestinian journalist and family in Gaza. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. We begin with security matters. Gunmen in the early hours of Thursday abducted two siblings at Moko community, located off Dutse Buari Highway in the Buari Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Moko community hosts some mining sites within the area council. The report.
The attack took place within one compound where the two victims, a male and a female sibling, were abducted. The landlord, Michael Waipo Silva, explained details of the incident.
So we both are night shift. So we were not at home when the incident occurred, only to find out in our group chat that something like kidnapper is in our compound. They've destroyed, they took two sisters away. So at the morning, we now came and saw that it was real, that even my uterus was broken, and they checked that there was nobody in. Before they now took, maybe they now came to this other place, my neighbor's place, and took the two siblings, a boy and a girl. So luckily for the guy now escaped on his way. So according to the sisters and the brother, they say they are asking for a ransom of 100 million.
The chief of the community, Ibrahim White Dangana, said this is the first time that such attack is happening within the community.
Our local government chairman has been trying all his possible best to see how he can bring the end of this situation that it has been happening. Many villages have been affected, and we are also trying to, our present FCT minister has also been trying to see how to bring the end of this thing.
Buari is one of the councils in the FCT that's been affected by the kidnappers' attacks in recent times.
A student of Bethel High School, Kaduna, who was among the 121 students kidnapped by the terrorists, has regained freedom after being in captivity for almost 2 years. The president of the Baptist Conference, Reverend Ishaya Adamu Jangadu, while confirming the release of the students to Trust TV's Bello Musa, declined to divulge further information, stating that a media address will be made soon.
The grandmother told me that she was also just sitting in her room, and there was a knock at the door, and she opened, and lo and behold, our great son came back. How? And the story is that he also just came out by the roadside, and here vehicle saying Kaduna, Kaduna, Kaduna. He does not even know where exactly is the place. But he entered it and keeps sitting until they arrive Kaduna. And because he is not a small boy, he knows Kaduna. He finds himself in Sabo and knows the route to where his grandmother's house is.
My joy is fulfilled because we have been praying and trusting God. Just what the camp chairman said, we have lost hope. We are thinking that this thing will not be possible again. But one thing that we pray and agreed, what God did to the prodigal son, we are praying that God should do same to our son Treasure Ayuba.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has assured residents of Imo State of their early arrival at polling units on the day of the election. The Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Sivia Agu, stated this while addressing journalists on their total readiness to conduct the forthcoming governorship election in the state. Correspondent Ajibade Praise reports.
Late arrival of materials at polling unit was one of the major hitches experienced in the last general elections. The problem has been there, and it is hope that it won't resurface in the November 11th governorship election. INEC is giving assurances that all the era of late arrival at polling units is now a thing of the past.
So we are very prepared to ensure that our materials get to the PUs at exact before 8:30 a.m. will start. We are very prepared. We don't anticipate any hitches, any glitches this time around because we have made adequate arrangements.
Speaking further, Sylvia Agu said, the major cause of the maintenance is always shortage of transportation logistics, and they have sorted it out early enough with the leadership of the National Road Transport Union workers.
We have activated all the racks and super racks, and the aim is to aid us in early deployments. That is the reason for activating racks, to ensure that we deploy quite early. We have also engaged with the transporters. We have been engaging with them, and they will have a different arrangement now, all in a bid to ensure that we deploy early.
It is less than 10 days to the governorship election in the state. Deployments geared towards a hitch-free poll are being concluded, and it is expected that they will live up to expectation as promised. At Jibadi Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
The fallout from the botched NLC protest in Imo State continues to generate reactions as the organized labor calls for an investigation into the matter. The NLC president, Joe Ajaero, was at the center of the developments following his detention by the police. Noel Sampson has more.
The events of November 4th, 2023 in Imo State sent shockwaves across the country as the NLC raised alarm over the purported arrest of its president, Joe Ajaero. The circumstances around development is still being contested as the police and the Imo State government deny their involvement in the physical attacks on the NLC president, labor unions, journalists, and others. The organized labor has now passed some resolutions in the aftermath of the Imo incident.
We are worried that it has come criminal for workers in Nigeria to gather for a peaceful protest when Section 40 of the Nigeria Constitution and the International Convention like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights, including ILO Convention 87 and 98, guarantees the right to freedom of association and the right to bargaining collectively.
The area command of the Nigerian Police Force and all other officers and men in Owerri, through whom the police commissioner supervised the brutalization and humiliation of Comrade Ajaero and other workers, be relieved of his office and stripped of its commission. We further resolve that in the events the government failed to comply with any or all the conditions above stated, NLC, TUC, and their affiliates will no longer guarantee industrial peace and harmony in Nigeria beginning Wednesday, 8th of November 2023, while a joint National Executive Council NEC meeting of the two labor centers will meet to decide the next course of action.
While reiterating their commitment to the welfare and well-being of workers in Nigeria, the organized labor leaders clarified their intentions to support Imo State workers as the motivation behind the protest, while the unions deny allegations of partisan motivations.
Not political. We don't interfere or campaign for any politician or political parties in Imo State. That was not our intention, and it will never be our intention.
The unions acknowledged the role of the National Security Advisor in de-escalating the matter by facilitating the release of the NLC president from police custody. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The House of Representatives Committee on Population has pledged to work with relevant stakeholders to ensure a smooth conduct of census in the country. The committee chairman, Jimmy Odimayo, made the pledge at the inaugural meeting of the committee on Thursday in Abuja. He said that the committee has a mandate to ensure comprehensive and effective national policy on the nation's population statistics and demographic data. The chairman says that developing strategies for the implementation of policies, including financing from local and foreign sources, is part of the committee's mandate.
The census budget and census preparation, they've gone over 80%. So for you or for anyone to say that that should just go by the way. It is highly unacceptable.
We believe in Nigeria, if we need to cut costs, we have to merge the two together. So it's a very big task also. If we are maintaining only NIMSI, where we can be able to count all the population, the people of Nigeria, that can be done through NIMSI as well.
And on security matters, joint troops of the Nigerian Army and operatives of Department of State Services have successfully averted a planned attack in Kano by insurgents in a dawn raid operation carried out on the terrorist hideout in the early hours of Friday, November 3rd. Now, this was contained in a statement signed by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu. According to the statement, the troops of 3 Brigade Nigerian Army, in close cooperation with the DSS, conducted a well-coordinated raid operation in Gezawa local government area of Kano State. The operation, according to the statement, was aimed at uncovering and apprehending suspected Boko Haram terrorists believed to be planning a major operation in Kano State. The statement added that the troops apprehended 2 suspected Boko Haram members who are now in custody. The joint troops had recovered 5 AK-47 rifles, 5 magazines, 1 rocket-propelled gun, 5 RPG bombs, 6 hand grenades, 5 pairs of desert camouflage uniforms, 10 pairs of magazine pouches, and some improvised explosive device making materials. The Ogun State Police Command said it has arrested one Afolabi Taiwo, a suspected cultist terrorizing the Abioro community in the Sango Ota area of the state. The public relations officer of the command, Omalola Odutola, disclosed this in a statement on Friday. Odutola said that Taiwo was arrested while trying to launch an attack on a member of the community who raised the alarm. Odutola added that Taiwo confessed to being a member of the dreaded Eye confraternity, stressing that efforts are ongoing to arrest other members of the group. She stated that the arrest was made through collaboration with the Ogun State Social Orientation and Safety Corps. On legal matters, the Chief Judge of Rivers State Justice Simeon Chibuzo Amadi has granted pardon to 53 inmates standing trial for various offences at the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Centre. The exercise is part of the activities outlined to kick off the 2023-2024 legal year in the state, as well as being a move to decongest the Maximum Correctional Centre in Port Harcourt. Justice Amadi said that the exercise is also in compliance with the provision of Section 34, Subsection 1 of the Criminal Justice Law of Rivers State and the Special Provision Act of the Laws of the Federation, which empowers the Chief Judge to visit the correctional center to ascertain the number of inmates in custody, their duration of stay, and determine those deserving a pardon. Justice Amadi also called on the police to be thorough in their investigations before charging suspects to court. In his remarks, the controller of the State Correctional Service, Felix Lawrence, commended the Criminal Justice System Administration in the state for effectively decongesting the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Service. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Maiduguri residents lament over availability of cash in circulation. Details and more after the break.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you in itself.
Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no,
during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for them, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
The early history of human existence can be traced to the heart of northern Nigeria. Here, archaeologists found evidence of a group of people who sculpted clay and developed tools to smelt iron. The local artifacts tell the tale of skilled craftsmen. Evidence of ironworking and tools date from roughly the 7th century BCE at Taruga, near Abuja. The fertile lands around the Kaduna River provided the perfect settlement for this thriving civilization. This is the area largely referred to as the Nak culture. Red-colored earthenware sculptures called terracotta were found within a 500-kilometer radius of Taruga.
Thanks for staying with us. This is the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at the top stories. Gunmen abduct 2 siblings in Abuja. Student of Bethel High School regains freedom 2 years after abduction. In other news, Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has inspected 1,000 housing projects at Logumani and Gajibo communities of Ngala and Dikwa local government areas. Both communities were significantly destroyed by Boko Haram insurgents, displacing residents since 2014. At Logumani, where 500 houses are being constructed, Zulum expressed confidence that the ongoing work will be completed and people will be resettled in 2 months. The governor noted that the construction comprises basic amenities such as a primary school, health center, police station, and a deep aquifer borehole meant for the provision of water to the community. At Ajibo, another community in Dikwa local government area where the construction of another 500 houses is ongoing, Zulum ordered that the project should be completed in 3 months to allow residents to return home. There's a growing concern among members of the public in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, that cash in circulation is becoming increasingly scarce as residents and business owners complain of lack of access. Although the central bank has assured Nigerians of adequate liquidity, the situation in Maiduguri is reminiscent of the cash crunch in the late 2022. Trust TV's Bitrus Kurutzi has more.
The mild cash crunch in Maiduguri metropolis is causing unease among residents as many fear a repeat of last year's experience when the central bank rolled out its monetary policy. The unusual naira scarcity is unsettling businesses as available cash is running out with demand increasing by the day. Even point-of-sale operators are unable to augment the shortfall of available cash in circulation.
We used to go to local government because local government, they're having more cash than us. So we used to go to local government to search for money and come back to it into Maiduguri right now here. Like even today, I even went to the one of local government before I get the cash. Based on my perception, I did not hear anything about this scarcity of naira. They only say that it's December, but government has not talked about old note or new note up to now. It's just people that they have started hiding the new note. That's the reason why scarcity here in Maiduguri is too much than any place.
Some residents speak on how the current situation is disrupting their activities on a day-to-day basis.
Because this cash now as I come here now to look for cash, I even asked for 10,000. They even said that I should pay 10,500. I don't know what happened. I even tell and say make you collect 10,300. He say collect 10,300. Voila, we are suffering because of this cash.
Like yesterday, I do market like 120,000, but the thing waiting for my pocket is just only 3,000 to buy food for our house. And I don't get cash. The kind of people where I suffer for buying all those cheap and where I will do for my house because all those local people where they are selling something do not want to collect transfer.
We even ask our friends that they are used to work at the bank. They say that the bank people, the problem that they are facing now, CBN they are not giving them cash because they don't know the actual. They didn't talk about the actual time where they will change their money. That old money.
There are fears that the scarcity might be connected to the deadline of the old naira notes issued by the Supreme Court, which would take effect by December. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
According to statistics from the Central Bank of Nigeria, federal government's oil revenue target for May dropped from 804 billion naira to 223 billion naira, representing about 72% reduction in federal earnings. According to the report, oil revenue at 223 billion naira for May was 36% below receipts in the preceding month and below the monthly target of 804 billion naira. The observed shortfall in oil revenue, according to CBN, was driven mainly by lower receipts from petroleum profit, tax and royalties. And the report also added that gross federation earnings dropped as a result of lower oil and non-oil receipts. On the foreign scene, an Israeli air raid has killed a journalist working for the Palestinian Authority's television channel, as well as 10 family members. Palestine TV accused Israel of carrying out a deliberate assassination of Mohammed Abu Hattab as it bombed his family home in Gaza's Khan Yunis, the south of the territory. Sources at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis said that at least 11 people were killed in the strike. The statement said that an airstrike hit Abu Hattab's apartment shortly after his arrival. Rwanda announced plans to allow Africans travel visa-free to the country, becoming the latest nation on the continent to announce such measure aimed at boosting free movement of people and trade to rival Europe's Schengen zone. Now, President Paul Kagame made the announcement on Thursday in Rwandan capital Kigali, where he pitched the potential of Africa as a unified tourism destination for a continent that still relies on 60% of its tourists from outside Africa, according to data from the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Once implemented, Rwanda will become the fourth African country to remove travel restrictions for Africans. Other countries on the list include Gambia, Benin, Seychelles. Kenya's President William Ruto announced plans to allow all Africans to travel to the East African nation visa-free by December 31. Now, in sports news, a shirt worn by Sir Bobby Charlton in the 1996 World Cup semi-final is set to go under the hammer. The signed top was worn by the football icon as he scored both goals in England's 2-1 win over Portugal on 26th of July 1999. Sir Bobby died on 21 October, aged 86, prompting tributes from across the sporting world. The shirt is being sold by Derbyshire-based Hanson's auctioneers with a guide price of £50,000 to £80,000. The auction is due to take place on 14th of November. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ida. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.